Now, speaking of somebody who we know does a phenomenal job on Capitol Hill, and that, of course, is Medea Benjamin.
Medea.
And if anybody is a fighter, no, we invited her. She couldn't.
We've had Medea on a few times. You know, we know her also from down here because she's from down here.
Yeah.
You know, she taught me everything I know.
That's
but I'll tell you what, she didn't teach you everything she knows. I could tell you that.
No, not yet.
Medea knows things.
That's right.
She is my mentor.
Yes, she does. Medea
is fierce.
Mm-hmm.
She is the.
Can I just say? Last time I was up in the Capitol, I was spending the day with Medea to kind of shadow her in terms of learning from her, because I've done some things in Congress, but she just has this. From all of her experience, just this organic way of just, she can get under someone's skin in the most polite way that, and we were at this hearing outside of the Judiciary Committee, and they were actually having the hearing on U.S. involvement in the elections in Uruguay. And so we were standing there, and the intern that was not, allowing people in or not, because you're allowed to go in there, except sometimes they'll post these interns as these lackeys to basically give you this prescribed speech of, oh, I'm sorry, at the time, there's no seats available and this and that. So Medea comes up and this person tells her that, and she just kind of like ducks under his arm and looks in, and there's empty seats. And she says, oh, there seems like there's plenty of empty seats to me. So I'm going to go in and sit down. And he's like, well, I wish you wouldn't, because, I'll get in trouble. And she was like, well, I'm sorry that you're going to get in trouble. And so she goes in there, and then Capitol Security asks her to step out. And then the Capitol Security guard is standing in front of her, and he says, ma'am, I'm sure you can see that, there's not a lot of room in here. And she was like, well, I can't see it because you're standing in front of me. So if you get out of my way, I can see. So he gets out of her way, and she just walks right back in. I'm just like, she's just so good at it. That it's like, she's become almost a figure, like a staple in the halls of the Capitol. She's just such a presence, and she's so good at what she does, and she's so knowledgeable of things that it's intimidating. I'm intimidated by Medea when I'm with her, Tony, just because of her presence.
Tony, she is filled with love.
Oh yeah, she's a light. She gives
met
good
her
love.
And I was like, she's my inspiration. Her and Ann Wright from
Ann's great. I've met her too.
Well, yes. I believe
I cried in Ann Wright's arms and Medea's arms the first time I ever went to Congress to try and tell them John Fetterman waved a fucking sorry.
That's okay. No, we're
5 Our Fathers and 5 Hail Marys for your penance.
Thank you. I'll do it. Waved an Israeli flag in my face, and I was like devastated. And Ann Wright, Medea Benjamin were like, I know this is something you never thought existed in reality, right? Like, this is reality. And she gave me this love, like, despite the fact that I was a Trumper and a Republican and this total just, I don't know, fucking brainwashed person, excuse my language, they still accepted me. And that part, right, is what I want to carry on. That part where someone comes to you with all this environmental programming and all this environmental, like propaganda. And they're like, they have a little bit of doubt. And they're like, I have a little bit of doubt about the things that in my life have been told to me. And you accept them with love. You accept them with grace and mercy. And you tell them, thank you for asking the question. And let me tell you the truth. Because had I not had that from Medea Benjamin, a Jewish woman fighting against Jewish supremacy, I don't think I'd be here today.
Yeah.
I don't think I would know the truth today.
Well,
Medea is definitely one of the greatest like role models in the anti-war movement and what we're doing.
so to show you just how disconnected, yeah, and somebody, yeah, and to show you just how disconnected the Zio state truly is, Rabbi Yaakov Menken, the executive VP of the Coalition for Jewish Values, was shouted at by Codepink activists yelling "Free Palestine." Here's what really went down.
Back to the program, Zev Brenner. It's always great to have Rabbi Yaakov Menken with us, the executive vice president of the Coalition for Jewish Values, and he had an interesting confrontation that went viral with somebody shouting "Free Palestine" because he has a beard and a yarmulke.
Free Palestine.
Yeah. See?
Free Palestine.
You knew I'm Jewish, and therefore you went Free Palestine. You found a new pretense.
What?
To hate
Free Palestine?
Jews.
That does nothing
you
to do
found
with hating
only
Jews.
because you saw me because I'm Jewish. Absolutely.
I said Free Palestine.
You only
I say Free
yelled
Palestine
Free
every day.
Palestine
I'm
because
Palestinian.
I'm Jewish.
No.
Yes,
I'm
you're a
Palestinian.
racist barbarian. That's what you are.
If you think that, you're the racist,
Do you
not
understand?
me.
No, excuse
Get out of my
me.
face.
Where's that name?
Get out of my face.
Greco-Roman colonialism.
What does Free Palestine mean?
Free
Anyway.
Palestine means Greco-Roman colonialism. We should get rid of the Jews.
What the hell
the only
is that?
freedom, the Middle
It means
East,
free from
the
Israeli
only
occupation. That's what it means.
pro-values
It means
country
freedom
in the
from
Middle East.
occupation of
you
Israel.
found a new reason
Bye.
to hate Jews for being Jews.
I don't hate Jews.
While claiming,
She's a
yeah,
Jew.
exactly.
She's a Jew.
That's
She's a
right.
Jew.
The Germans also
She's a
think
Jew.
we don't hate the Jews.
Right,
for
and Nazis
religion.
also
We
use
just hate them.
Nazis also use this
You are the-
propaganda.
You are
Nazis
the Nazi
also
propagandist.
no.
You found
You
a
are
new
doing the
you
same
dumber.
thing. If you
Palestine to me
support Israel,
because I'm Jewish.
No.
You didn't target
No.
me because you know anything about my policies.
You're sick.
You targeted
You're
me because
sick.
of this.
She's Jewish
you went
herself.
After me as
She's
a
Jewish.
Racist.
She's
Yes,
Jewish.
he is a racist, anti-Jewish racist.
That's
I know
your
exactly
propaganda
who
all the
Medea is.
time?
What do you think?
You're-
Medusa over here. I know exactly who
You
she
are-
Medusa. He calls Medea Medusa. Yeah.
Do you know the woman that he's talking to?
Is that
her
Anne?
name- Her name is Summer.
Oh,
She's a
okay.
she's a Palestinian woman.
Okay.
And from the West Bank, actually. And she is the first Palestinian I ever met in my life.
That's interesting. That's cool though.
And she is my dear sister now.
Yeah. Well, this guy's just disgusting. I mean, he's
This guy, well, they tend to be.
Oh, and they also like it, but here's the thing, and Anthony, I'm
They
sure
don't
you've
have-
noticed this as well. They get very aggressive with women. They
With women.
never get aggressive with men. It's very, very common.
It's
Have you noticed
noticeable. They get very, very like to me. I've in all the times in going to Congress and speaking. I mean, even to Randy Fine, when I approach him and talk to him, they
How do you get
cower.
around
But whenever Medea or Hazami or Josie, says something, they get very, very aggressive, and it's noticeable.
you know why?
Why?
You know
Why?
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 Well, these are cowards. These
Yeah.
are very emasculated, cowardly men that don't feel comfortable speaking up to other men, but they feel perfectly okay getting all in a woman's face because they feel like they have the dominance in that situation. So these are very cowardly people.
Yeah, just cut off their testicles already. Seriously.
sick.
No, you
Israel
are.
I'm
is a
gonna
racist
tell you, I have to go,
ethnic
guys. I have to go.
Oh,
I want to show you guys this little thing that if
Yeah,
you can,
it's really the hatred. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
beautiful.
I see it. It's a cool pin. It's got the arrows crossed. What does it say? I can't see what it says.
Tony, do you
It
want to
says
tell?
De oppresso liber. It is to free the oppressed. That is the
Oh, that's
motto
awesome.
of the U.S. Army Special Forces. So U.S. Army
My-
Special Forces was actually created under John F. Kennedy
Yeah.
in the 1960s as a new form of warfare. But our motto is to free the oppressed. So, after I protested in Congress, I had a lot of support from veterans and the like, but there were some Green Berets that had said, that's anti-Semitic and, et cetera. And I'm like, why, I was like, I thought our motto, and we were trained and selected and sacrificed to free the oppressed. Well, if there is a people that are oppressed, it is the Palestinians, and
Right.
we should not remain quiet. So
I got this pin from
but
my
yeah, in the halls of
brother,
Congress,
Anthony.
it is not lost on me that the aggressiveness towards women is just, it's palatable. It's very noticeable.
Yeah.
They're very misogynistic too, completely.
I wanted to show you this because Anthony gave it to me.
Oh, that's so nice.
And Anthony has become my family. And I keep Anthony, I want you to know going into the new year that I keep this oh my God. And I got a new cat, you guys.
Well, we want to see the new cat.
My husband to get a cat.
Oh, look at
this is my kitty. Oh my God. He was a stray and he was just like running around.
To you rescued him. To him, you kidnapped him.
Yeah.
So there's the difference right there.
He loves it. He loves it. But anyway, I just want to wish a Merry Christmas to everyone, and anyone that is listening. I hope that in the new years to come that their resolution be filled with love, and that we spread love, because there is so much hate and darkness in the world. What better to combat it with love and forgiveness and understanding for people that we may not understand, right? Or
you mean we should have Christ consciousness around the time of Christmas?
I mean, I don't want to like project Christ consciousness onto people, but I pray for Christ consciousness because I do believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ, and
me too.
I think he gave us the manuscript of how we can raise the consciousness. So I amen. I implore all of you to seek that, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, happy all the things that you believe in. And I love you guys.
Josie.
We'll see you in 26, Josie.
Have a good New Year,
you guys.
So, Tony, no surprise. It's just us.
We're going to finish.
Let's finish it out.
I'm ride or die.
They've been genociding people for 2 years now.
Do you know there are more Arabs?
Do you know what genocide
there are more
is?
Arabs in the
Even the
Knesset.
UN.
Yes, and you know what? That means your Jewish lives have no value. You just said it. In order to accuse Israel of genocide in Gaza, you have to believe that rescuing the hostages wasn't
all the
a
hostages
legitimate
are gone
goal.
now.
Yeah,
all the hostages are rescued now.
Yeah,
and you're
there's
still
no
killing
fighting.
people. You're still killing people.
When Hamas shoots at Israel,
stop
Israel
using this excuse.
Stop.
Go get an education.
Stop
using this excuse.
You're a
Stop.
racist barbarian.
So the whole world is racist? The whole world is racist?
Guess what? There's 100 times more
The
anti-Semites
UN
in
is
the world
racist?
than there are Jews.
The UN is racist?
You yelled,
you are
free
sick.
Palestine to
You,
me
the
because
UN,
I'm Jewish.
the UN is
you
racist.
Started this
the UN
argument
said it's a
because I am
genocide.
a Jew.
The UN
you
said it's a genocide.
I'm a Jew.
That's the only thing you
started
can say
because
you want people to feel sorry for you to use your religion. Judaism and Zionism are two different things, buddy.
Yes.
Judaism and Zionism. I didn't yell at you. I said free Palestine. If free Palestine offends you, it's because you're a racist. You are a racist.
And now he gets in her face.
Okay.
Because probably with the Zionism is not Judaism, that he heard that, and that definitely.
I want to see, where does this end?
He's about to talk with this. This is going to be funny. I just
okay. All right.
Yeah,
you are a racist.
Good.
Yes.
Put this up on YouTube.
I will put it everywhere.
Rabbi Mencken, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me back on your program and to discuss this particular confrontation.
What happened?
So this was on Wednesday. I was in Longworth House office building for various business. That was the day of the congressional menorah lighting there in the Capitol. And so I was waiting for that event to take place, and for when it was time to go over to the Capitol itself. I had some meetings with staff of a representative, so I was just going down to the Longworth cafeteria to sit down, and I'm going one way, and who should come the other way but two members of Codepink, Medea Benjamin herself, and an Arab she was with, who identified herself as a Palestinian during that confrontation.
Oh my God. and an Arab.
And this Arab that they brought in off the street. This Arab they brought in off the street.
But he's not a bigot.
No, definitely
But he's not a bigot.
You are a
well. See, another thing that this reveals in that this context of religion constantly, where you hear Islamophobia, and that it's more than that. It is racism against Arabs, because the majority of Muslims in the world don't live in the Middle East. They live in Southeast Asia, between Indonesia and Malaysia and India and Thailand and Cambodia.
Correct.
They're not Arab. So this whole idea of this, it's really Arab hate.
Facts, but now you're getting into facts, and this guy has feelings.
Well, no, because his issue isn't with Muslims. Not really.
That's right. Not really.
No, his issue is with brown people.
That's right.
So when we talk about Zionism and we say, oh, it's Jewish supremacy, yes, it's definitely Jewish supremacy, but it is also white supremacy.
It is deeply rooted in racism.
Correct. You know what's interesting, and I don't know how much you know about like the history of Jews in Europe before World War II, but Jews were not considered white. Jews were not considered white people, which is why they were considered Semites, even though they're not. I mean, they're not Semitic, but they weren't considered white, which is why the term anti-Semitism is a European term.
Yes.
Designed to be hating people that are not white. The irony that the Jews now are calling people like anti-Semitic when they're not even Semites, or this guy doesn't realize he's a bigot. He doesn't.
I think
but he's a Jewish supremacist. But
I think he does.
I don't know.
I just think that I've always said Zionist Jews believe that they are culturally, ethnically, religiously, and socially superior to everybody else. Hence, that's what real racism is.
Observing this more closely now.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that as we watch this, observing this dynamic more closely now, since I have returned from Gaza and really looking at this more, I feel like if you ever watched that show that used to come on TLC called Intervention, and the camera crew would follow around someone that was a drug addict, like deep addicted drug addict. And as they're following this individual around, they have no idea that they're the subject of the show. They have no idea that they have a problem, that they're the addict that they're showcasing in their addiction episode. And these addicts will just walk around like it's just a normal day. And you'll see family members that believe in this fantasy with them of like that, yeah, you're okay. The enablers and the Zionist mindset is like a drug, and it is extremism. And then you have American politicians that are their enablers, and then you have the rest of the world that's like that group that's sitting down in the room when the drug addict comes in for the intervention, who's all sitting there and like, yeah, you've got a problem. That's the rest of the world. And on the couch is Israel's drug dealer, America, Israel in this Zionist trance, and the rest of the world saying, you have a problem. And them sitting there saying, oh, no, I don't. You have a problem. Classic, like codependency coping. And it's like, what is wrong with the rest of the world? Or I should say, what is wrong with the US lawmakers that are the enablers of racist Zionism? Like the things that Randy Fine in the U.S. Capitol, in the U.S. Congress building, in America, when he gave his comments on the floor, I was there, and he said that someone had said about the death toll, and he said about the children that were being killed, and he said, yes, and it would be better if we could double it. This is an American lawmaker in the U.S. Congress saying these things. And we as a people allow him to stay in office, allow him to tarnish our house. And that's what I tell people. That Capitol, when I go to that Capitol, I walk through the halls of that Capitol and I treat it like it is my house. It is our house. It is not theirs. And when you have evil, vile people like Randy Fine or this individual who say things, who romanticize and celebrate the killing of children and innocent people in our capital. We should not tolerate that.
Well, just so you know what this is when you're talking about like the codependence, what you're talking about is this is called Darvo, what this man is doing, okay? And Darvo is a tactic that is really used by a lot of people, but it's a toxic, narcissistic tactic. And what Darvo stands for is deny, argue, reverse victim offender. So basically you switch it, you're the victim, the other person's the offender. That is what a narcissist does. That is what these people do. It's called Darvo.
Let's finish it out.
Yeah.
Arab woman yelled "Free Palestine" as I went by. This is about the third time I've been accosted with this particular phrase. And so this time, especially because it was, I knew who it was. I knew it was Codepink. So I just turned around and went after them.
Codepink is. They may not be familiar with.
Codepink is a rabidly anti-Israel women's organization run by a Jewish woman named Medea Benjamin, perhaps better named Medusa Benjamin.
Got her there.
The snake from Greek mythology. Because this is their modus operandi. They claim to not be an anti-Semitic organization. But of course, they only yelled "Free Palestine." And this is what I said immediately. When I wheeled on her, I turned around and said, "You only said that to me because you knew I was a Jew."
See, I would have answered
because you're wearing a black gown.
Moment. I want to say, because I thought this was weird when they did that in the hallway, when he approached them, when he said, "You only said that because I'm Jewish," I would have said, yes. And people like you are the biggest part of the problem. So the fact that he thinks somehow that's like a flex to say, well, they only said that to me because I'm Jewish. And whether or not they did or didn't, I would have said, yes, I did. Because Jews are now being affiliated with the Holocaust because of people like
And of course, if he's walking around there dressed the way that he's dressed and he is lobbying Congress, everyone knows he's there for support of Israel, not the other way around. If anything, if she said "Free Palestine" and she was wrong, you would have said it "Free Palestine" back to her, but no, you didn't. So clearly, you only proved her correct.
Well, anybody who thinks saying "Free Palestine" is anti-Semitic,
is an attack.
But anybody who thinks that is a bigot, of course, by definition, because you feel someone else's freedom is
or a black hat, you're wearing a beard, so people can tell you're Jewish, but you're not wearing a mug and dove, you're not wearing an Israeli flag. But to them, that puts a lie to the whole canard is saying, "Oh, we're not anti-Jewish, we're not anti-Semitic, we're only anti-Israel." Yet every time they see a Jew, they start with these anti-Semitic statements and slogans, "Free Palestine," whatever it might be. It just shows it's just a manifestation of anti-Semitism.
The irony is that Palestinians are Semites. So the idea that saying "Free Palestine" is anti-Semitic is actually kind of funny. Like it's just ridiculous.
They use the term anti-Semite so much that it just ruins everything. It's like if you burn your hand on the oven, oh, anti-Semite. Like they use it for everything. To the point where and they don't really. When I was down in the to Florida when the Jewish a very pro-Zionist Jewish organization. I was down in Florida. They invited me to speak, and when I said yes, they were like, "Oh, well, do you know who we are?" And I was like, "Well, no, but I mean, you invited me." And they were like, "Well, it's not going to be an easy conversation." I'm like, "Okay, well, the truth, and I would gladly share it." And before I could even speak at this engagement, this gentleman stands up and he was like, "You're an anti-Semite." And I said, "Okay." I said, I acknowledge your comment. Let's break that down. Anti being against or against something. Semite. What is the definition of a Semite? And he says to me, he says, "Don't get semantics with me." I was like, aha, the word semantic. Semite, you're close. Why do we use that term semantic from the root word Semite of what you said I am anti? Because Palestinians are considered Semites. And he was like, "Well, they're not Jews." And I was like, Semite doesn't mean Jew. You don't even know what the word means. And I would venture to guess that there are a lot of people that use the word anti-Semite that do not know what the word actually means.